In a quiet evening washed with the colors of sunset, a young woman named Elena sat by her window, her hand resting on a life growing inside her. The world outside was still, but inside her heart, a storm of emotions was taking shape. A letter lay before her, words written by those she loved, but heavy with shame and fear. They said her mistake would ruin everything: the family name, their respect, their peace. They wanted her to erase what was already alive. She remembered him, the boy who once promised her forever beneath the streetlights and rain. They were young, wild with dreams, and love had felt enough to build a world. But forever, it seemed, had an early end. One lonely night, she felt the first kick, a gentle flutter beneath her palm, a reminder that she was not alone. Elena smiled through her tears. At the clinic, the doctor smiled. "It's a boy," he said softly. For a moment, the world stopped spinning. In that dim room, the glow of the screen painted hope across her eyes. But hope is fragile. Weeks later, thunder roared through the night. Pain struck like lightning. Alone in her room, she screamed, a cry swallowed by the storm. Her parents rushed her to the hospital, their faces pale, their voices trembling. Rain pounded the glass as headlights cut through the dark. Every second felt like an hour. The delivery room glowed white. Hands moved quickly, voices faded in and out. Elena's world narrowed to a single sound, the one she longed to hear. There it was, a sound of a baby. Elena held her newborn son, his tiny fingers wrapped around hers, his cry like music that healed her broken heart. For the first time in months, she smiled. She whispered, "You're my reason now." But somewhere beyond those walls, someone else was watching. When the pain medication took hold and her eyelids grew heavy, she placed the baby beside her, his warmth against her arm, his breath soft and peaceful. Then, silence. Hours later, she woke to cold sheets and an emptiness that screamed louder than any voice. The crib was empty. The nurses looked confused. The doctors gave no answers. They said, "He took him." His face was covered and the alarm was off. She searched the halls, ran through corridors. They talked to the authorities. Her tears filled the silence. Her screams echoed against the white walls. But the baby, her baby, was gone. That night, Elena didn't just lose her child. She lost her world. And from that moment, her life became a vow. I will find you, no matter what. They thought she was finished. The girl who lost everything. The one they whispered about when she passed. But they didn't know. Pain was shaping her. Every tear she cried watered the seed of strength inside her. Every sleepless night built a fire in her heart. She didn't beg for help. She built herself from the ground up. While others slept, she studied. While others judged, she learned. She gathered degrees, not for fame, but for purpose. Business, law, investigation, anything that could bring her closer to the truth. Years passed. The world now saw a CEO, powerful, beautiful, unstoppable. But behind those eyes lived a mother still searching for her lost child. When the lights went off and the city went quiet, she opened her secret files. Names, faces, missing children, every one of them a reminder of the pain she once knew. By day, she built an empire. By night, she fought monsters the world refused to see. She became their silent protector, the voice of the voiceless. And every night before she closed her eyes, she whispered the same words. I will find you, my son, because a mother's love never dies. The threats begin. When light shines too bright, darkness always tries to silence it. It started with a letter, no name, just blood on paper. A warning, a whisper, stop digging or you'll join them. But she had come too far to stop. They thought fear would break her, but it only reminded her why she started. Then came the dead bird, the phone calls in the night, the voices in the dark telling her to quit. And though her hands trembled, her heart stayed still, because she wasn't just fighting for truth, she was fighting for her son. Each threat became fuel. Each warning became a weapon. They wanted to scare her, but they forgot. You can't frighten a mother who has already lost everything. She didn't step back. She stepped deeper into the fire. The threats continued until one evening, the past came knocking. A young man broke into her home, masked, armed, and trembling. He pointed a gun at her chest. His hands shook, his breath uneven. "Who sent you?" she asked calmly. The boy hesitated, his eyes flickering with confusion. Something in her voice, her eyes, felt familiar. He didn't shoot. Instead, he grabbed a pen, wrote something on the table, and left it behind. "You can be someone's mom. I don't want to kill you. Don't fight the wrong people." Her eyes widened as she read it. Then she noticed his sleeve had lifted slightly. On his arm, a birthmark, the same shape her family carried, the mark of bloodline. Her body froze. Could it be her son? That night, Elena sat in the dark, tears streaming. The boy's age, his voice, the mark, it all matched. Days passed. She worked harder, connecting every thread, every file, every name, until one night, he returned. But this time, she didn't run. She stepped forward and whispered the name she had found. Daniel. The boy froze. "How do you know that name?" he asked, lowering the gun. Her voice broke. "Because I'm your mother." He stared at her, lost, broken, torn between orders and truth. She showed him her wrist, the birthmark glowing under the dim light. She opened a drawer, showing old family portraits, the same mark on every hand. He pointed at one photo. "Who is this man?" Her eyes filled with pain. "He's my uncle." Daniel stepped back. The world crashed around him. The man he called father was the monster who stole him and also sent her to put an end to her. He looked at Elena with pity, confusion, and regret. Then, without a word, he walked away, disappearing into the night. And Elena stood there, whispering to the shadows, "They took my son, but they can't take his soul." After that night, Elena's world went silent. Her son is alive and ready to testify against the inhuman organization. This time, she wasn't the same woman. She had proof. Names, files, faces. Every night she hunted in silence. Anonymous tips, hidden accounts, exposed secrets. One by one, they fell. The organization began to crumble, but one name stayed untouched. Her uncle, the man behind everything.
the man her son still called father, and she see as her favorite uncle. Elena knew justice would not come through fear. It would come through truth. The mansion was quiet, too quiet. Every step she took echoed like a heartbeat. Her uncle stood waiting, calm, confident, cruel. "You should have stayed quiet," he said. She stared back. "You should have stayed human." Then a voice came from behind. "Tell her, father." Daniel stepped out of the shadows, his gun lowered. "Tell her what you did." The old man laughed. "I made you strong. Without me, you'd be nothing." Daniel's voice trembled. "No, without you, I would have had a mother." Silence filled the room, a silence heavier than any bullet, a truth too painful to escape. The world finally heard her story. Hidden files, voice recordings, Daniel's confession. Everything went public. Police surrounded the mansion. The empire of lies collapsed. Her uncle was led away in handcuffs. Daniel stood beside her, silent, broken, free. "I don't deserve forgiveness," he whispered. Elena smiled faintly. "Justice isn't revenge, it's peace." Together, they watched the sunrise. For the first time in years, no more fear. Just peace.